First of all, with the White House yesterday, there was a bit of a kerfuffle between Sarah Huckabee Sanders and a reporter named Brian Karem, who is with Playboy, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't he reporting
Playboy and I believe the Montgomery County Sentinel. He's
That's
a local
hell
boy.
of a resume.
I didn't know he was
Montgomery
with Playboy.
County. I didn't. Yeah, he works with Playboy. Playboy tweeted out a thing that was like, "Yeah, that's right. That's our Brian Karem."
Yeah.
Which
he's also your Brian Karem.
My Brian Moko. Yeah, that's my
Cosmo
guy.
and Playboy making
and Teen Vogue
political headlines.
they're
Now.
really,
Teen Vogue, yeah.
They're really making things happen. So Sarah Huckabee Sanders, this is the clip I played earlier, Jamie, about with the slightest mistake from the White House, and everybody jumps on them. Here she goes.
If we make the slightest mistake, the slightest word is off, it is just an absolute tirade from a lot of people in this room. But news outlets get to go on day after day and cite unnamed sources, use stories without sources.
Well, Brian Karem says, "Well, allow me to retort."
You're inflaming everybody right here and right now with those words. This administration has done that as well. Why in the name of heavens? Any one of us, right, are replaceable, and any one of us, if we don't get it right, the audience has the opportunity to turn the channel or not read us.
I think
you have been elected to serve for 4 years at least. There's no option other than that. We're here to ask you questions.
Right.
We're here to provide the answers. And what you just did is inflammatory to people all over the country who look at it and say, see, once again, the president is right and everybody else out here is fake media. And everybody in this room is only trying to do their job.
Tell me what's false.
I mean,
tell me what's false.
It was a strong statement, I think. And Hunter, you're in the White House, covering the White House. Was he out of line at all?
I mean,
that's a tough question to put you in. It's a tough question to throw to you. I understand, but
he's going to throw it to you anyways.
There's an allegation that we're getting from the White House press shop that part of the reason they've taken the briefings off camera, which is I just did a story today documenting changes to the briefing and the fact that President Trump has avoided news conferences personal news conferences more than any president since Reagan, at least, which I think is actually more important than changes to the briefing.
Mm-hmm.
But part of their supposed rationale for avoiding the press is that, reporters want to be quote unquote YouTube stars.
Yeah.
And too many of us are, using the briefing as a moment to grandstand. What I would say, I'm going to just speak for me personally.
Sure.
The briefing is not about me. My job is not really about me. It is my job to tell people what the White House is saying, and it is my job to ask the toughest questions I possibly can each day that I'm there. So that's what I do. And this White House has not really understood or accepted that time-honored role of the free press in this society. What we've seen them do is shut out the press. Again, if you look at my latest story, Trump has done one full-length news conference since February. Actually, one full-length news conference since taking office. By this point, Obama had done 7.
Do you remember that thing? Do you remember that was
his combative kind of no-holds-barred, just yelling at people.
Right. Reagan had done 3, right? And he got shot during the same period of time. So literally while being shot, Reagan stood up for more news conferences than Trump has. George H.W. Bush actually loved news conferences. His stats blow away all the other presidents, and he only had 1 term. All the other, recent presidents. And I got these stats from Martha Joint Kumar and Mark Knoller, who are 2 sort of very respected veterans in the White House press corps. Martha's actually a scholar, but she's written extensively on the White House press shop. And she also told me that this avoidance of the briefing is unprecedented.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is Sarah Huckabee Sanders and other White House staff stand up and say they have to shut out our questions because we're fake news. And this Russia thing is a quote unquote hoax. And it seems like they're afraid of facing difficult questions.